listener, we're here today with Steve Slack, who's a patient advocate for colorectal cancer, and we're at the Canadian Association for Population Therapeutics, and we're actually going to be talking a little bit about biomarkers and turnaround times and where they're at. So, Michael, I don't know if you want to start talking a little bit about your experience, your story, and how that sort of translates into what that means for the turnaround time for biomarkers and how important that is.
Absolutely, yeah. So I was diagnosed stage 4 colorectal cancer in June of 2021, and I had to have surgery right away for the resection of the tumor in my colon. But I was left with 23 additional lesions on my liver, and so I had to start chemotherapy right away after the surgery. Of course, I met with my oncologist after recovering from the surgery. It would have been August of 2023. Started chemotherapy a week after, but he would have ordered the biomarker testing when I saw it. But of course, we didn't have those results. It took a couple of months. So it wasn't until probably 3 or 4 rounds of systemic treatment before I was able to get those results back, and it turned out that I did have targeted treatment available to me based on the results of the biomarker testing. So we were able to incorporate that additional drug, which is an anti-EGFR, into my treatments, and really had a really positive response, which, long story short, got me to a position where my 23 lesions went down to one, a stubborn one that just wouldn't go away, and had to make the decision to go for actually a living donor liver transplant, which I did in November of 2023. And as a result of that, I am almost 1 year now, no evidence of disease. It was a tough procedure, but it was a successful one. But I am left wondering if we'd received the biomarker testing results quicker, and I had been able to start an additional targeted therapy along with my chemotherapy right from the very beginning, like round 1. Maybe I could have had a complete response or would have taken such a drastic step. Just had to go to liver transplant.
Congratulations, first of all. I think the question for us is, having gone through that journey, what would you how should they self-advocate when it approach to testing?
That's a great question, and I'll tell you. So, because at the time, if I go back to when I was first diagnosed and I was reeling with this news, trying to struggle with crisis, I didn't know. I hadn't heard of biomarker testing. I didn't know what biomarker testing was, what its importance was, or relevance was to me in my treatment of my cancer. I didn't know what questions I should be considering. What my advice would be is to find an advocacy group once you're diagnosed, like the group that I now volunteer with, GRAND, Colorectal Cancer Resource and Action Network. They are such a critical organization as a nonprofit for educating cancer patients in this country and helping them along their journey, making sure they're aware of all their treatment options and things that they should be asking their oncologist about. And so that would be my biggest learning is I should have, as soon as I got my diagnosis, I should have looked for a patient advocacy group like GRAND that supports people like myself with colorectal cancer, and that would have so better informed me along the way. But knowledge is so important. I mean, I wasn't a medical guy. My background, I was in finance, so my knowledge of medical and scientific stuff was just not there.
Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Awesome. We're here today again with one of our special guests, actually, from a previous episode, Joan Paulin, who is no longer the vice chair, now is the chairperson of PHA Canada. All right. So Joan actually gave a really awesome, she was on a panel yesterday that I attended as well on RWE Town Hall as part of this CAPT meeting. And actually, in the morning session, the keynote speaker was speaking specifically about real-world evidence, real-world data, and how they're collecting that for a very specific disease. But I think Joan has some ideas about how we could potentially maybe even generalize it, right? So Joan.
No, I was really surprised to listen this morning to the keynote speaker at the CAPT conference here. My understanding is that the neuromuscular disease registry is being used kind of as a prototype to understand how to build, because it's one of the best uh, rare disease patient registries probably in Canada. It's being used as a kind of a prototype to build, understand how to build quality data and where to find that quality data and what to do to improve data that isn't what they would call decision grade. And while that was really heartening to hear, what I got out of that is if we can do that, if CAPT, if CDA is doing that with one rare disease registry, maybe we can expand that either to a national registry for all rare diseases. I think that would be really good. We could get some really good information across diseases about things that we might have missed from by being siloed in our own rare disease organization. But it also, if we can't do that, which I still think is the best way to go, what that information can do for the rest of the rare disease organizations, if we can get that data so that we can use that as guidance for what we can do going forward to build our registries.
Great. Thanks a lot, Joan, and thanks for all the great work that you do.